it may not have a very good curvature. So in order to make things more suitable for your optimization algorithm, that gradient descent and other kind of algorithm, Newton method and other. So you need to apply some kind of transformation, and many things will come there. Sensitivity analysis and other things would be there as well. So those things you need to understand when your linear algebra is very clear, and that in linear algebra, when you are very good in change of basis. So that's why I'm going to discuss uh, first matrix of linear transformation with respect to different bases, and I will talk about change of basis as well. So are you able to see the slide? Anyone respond by voice? Slide is visible or not? I have
Yes,
already
sir.
shared.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine. Then we are going to start today's lecture. And everyone need to give attention that this lecture is very important from several perspectives. It also forms backbone of this linear algebra as well. You can say that because anyhow, whatever basis you will have, most suitable basis happens to be always rectangular basis. That means whatever basis we had already studied, there we observe that 1 0 and 0 1, that a standard basis, that we are calling it a standard basis for two-dimensional space, Euclidean space R2. And if you, because everything you see from rectangular basis perspective till now, whatever you have studied, now you have to change the perception. You can see that your basis element may not be perpendicular to each other. That means they are like 1 0 and 0 1 looks perpendicular to each other, but in general you will, it will happen that the basis direction may not be perpendicular to each other. So those kind of scenario you have to uh, take forward in order to implement linear algebra there in data science and other kind of courses as well, data analytics and other kind of courses as well. So that's where I am coming with coordinate transformation, and we will find matrix of that coordinate transformation with respect to different bases. So basis is very important. Then once we are having idea of basis, then we will talk about change of basis. So outline of my today's lecture are the following. First, I would like to introduce, I had already introduced coordinate transform. Now, today I will introduce a matrix of coordinate transform. So here, what we will do, first, I will find a method of inspection. Uh, I will find matrix by method of inspection, and then I will go to in next generalized form. How in general way we can find matrix of a given coordinate transformation. That means with respect to a given basis, we have to find matrix, define our matrix of the transformation, define over the given vector space. So remember that I had already used several vector space. It may be polynomial space, it may be functional space, it may be anything. But once we are having a pattern of vector space and happens to be dimension of that vector space is n, then always we can map that vector space. Suppose V is a vector space, and we can have any kind of element, maybe function, maybe matrices, maybe anything else. But suppose V is a vector space or linear space, and somehow we come across that dimension of V happens to be n. Then we can simply say that V is isomorphic to Euclidean space Rn, because we are very much similar with Euclidean space Rn, and we can do a lot of algebra there in Euclidean space. That's why it is very required kind of things that we have to always find an isomorphic transformation that transform V into Rn. So one isomorphic transformation is given by coordinate transform. So that's where. So there is a isomorphic. That means if you are going from V to Rn, there is one correspondence and vice versa. So that kind of structure we had already used. That means take suppose B is any vector space having basis beta, and in the basis element happens to be. Uh, I will introduce all these later. Here. I have already come across. Then I will discuss about change of basis. Then, if time permit, then I will go to discuss about matrix of change of basis. So now, when you are talking about matrix, then you are making thing more compact. So that is the perspective. Coming to coordinate transform and its matrices. First, I would like to recall definition of coordinate transform. What does it say? So suppose we are having a vector space V and we come across that dimension of that vector space is n. So definitely there is a linear transformation. Definitely there will be a linear transformation that we are calling it coordinate transformation from vector space V of dimension n to Rn. So dimension of V is here n. That transformation we can define as that every element of V is mapped to coordinate of that element, and coordinate of that element happens to be an n-dimensional vector, provided that the given vector space is a n-dimensional vector. So V is a capital here, vector space. So we can say that every element, so we define a transformation like this one. So V will map to coordinate of V. So V, this small v, it is coming from vector space V, and coordinate of V, it is talking about a column vector of dimension n, because V is n dimensional. So basis of V will have n element. So that's why coordinate of any general element V from the vector space V would have n coordinates. So that's why call it coordinate of V with respect to basis beta. So this V is coming from uh, this vector space V, and the coordinate of V becomes n-dimensional vector. So, so this transformation, we had already come across this transformation. We are calling it beta coordinate transformation. So beta is the basis of the given vector space V. And we know that Rn is having very standard, generalized kind of basis or a standard basis. So a standard basis we will take it later. So now the B coordinate is further also. I had mentioned that B coordinate is an invertible transformation. It is invertible. And what is the inverse of beta coordinate transform? Beta inverse is defined from Rn to V. That means every coordinate of a vector is, this transformation says that every coordinate of a vector mapped to the corresponding vector in the vector space, and it can be defined as like this way. So that means what is the image of this coordinate having first coordinate alpha 1 and another coordinate alpha 1. What is the image of this one? So image of this one is just take a linear combination of this one, whatever, and this linear combination would be uniquely that, with respect to that it will give a vector. So we can say that image of this coordinate is vector V, and V is having coordinate vice versa. Also we can say that V is having coordinate this coordinate vector. And in particular, what we will do, we will find the, because EI is what? It is a standard unit vector in n-dimensional space. So EI, several times I had already mentioned that EI is saying that ith coordinate is 1 and others, rest of the coordinate are 0. So these are very standard kind of unit vector in Euclidean space. So 0, 0, and ith coordinate you will have 1, and others are 0. It will come like this way. It will come like this. Ith coordinate is 1 and rest of coordinate are 0. So that is the concept of I notation. So always what you do for it is a very simple relation. Find the inverse image of ith coordinate. It will come across just Vi, the ith element of the basis element of V. And so the diagramming view of the coordinate transformation, we had already discussed that we can observe like this way. If you are taking any element V from a small v from vector space V, then and V is having a basis. What are the basis element? V1, beta is the basis of V having element. Basis element V1. Whenever I am calling it element, consider that as an element of vector space or linear space. So generally those happens to be nature of vectors. So basis is having n basis vector V1 to Vm. This is the basis of vector space V. Basis of V. Okay. So take any general element from V, represent as a linear combination of basis element of V. So it is coming like this way. So this coefficient of vi, it will form a column vector. That column vector we are calling it coordinate of v with respect to corresponding basis. And column coordinate vector happens to be n-dimensional column vector. That's why this column vector is in Rn. So this is the overall view of coordinate transformation. So I will find the matrix. So in order to find the matrix of this coordinate transformation, because previously whenever we are defining a linear transformation, always we try to find matrix of that linear transformation. Why? Because we know that every linear transformation is associated with some matrix. So that's way. So we consider a linear transformation from P2 to P2. What is P2? P2 is a polynomial space of degree up to 2. So it is a collection of all the, it is a space formed by the polynomial of degree up to 2. Degree, it is having, okay. So P2 I had already discussed, and the transformation we define it like this way: P of f equal to f dash plus f double dash. Dash represent here derivative. So with respect to derivative, we had already defined transformation, and we had already come across that derivative is always a linear transformation. If you want to verify this one, whether it is a linear transformation or not, just you apply the definition of linear transformation, and through that establish that if you take any two polynomial f and g from P2 and find the linear combination, then apply the linear transformation over this transformation L over this linear combination, that means f alpha f plus beta g, and verify that whether it is equal to image of linear combination of f and g is equal to linear combination of the corresponding image or not. You need to verify it. It is a homework. You can verify yourself. So linear combination of the images, that means alpha times p of f plus beta times uh, beta times p of g. So you can verify it whether it is a linear transformation or not. It is a homework. So I assume that it is a linear transformation because I know I had already verified that this transformation, this map is defined from P2 to P2 is a linear transformation. Now again, what is the dimension of P2? Also we had seen that dimension of P2 is 3. So that's why P2 is isomorphic to R3. Why? What is the dimension? P2 is it is a collection of polynomial of degree 2. That means if you take any element from P2, it will have the representation like this way. So it is talking about a polynomial of degree 2. That means a plus bx plus cx square. What does it say? So if I'm asking what is the standard basis of P2, standard of basis of P2, that means every element of P2 is a linear combination of three monomials. What are those monomials? First one is 1. You can say that a time 1. Second basis element is x, and third basis element is x square. So P2 is a vector space with respect to with this basis. It is a basis having one basis, this one. And how many elements we observe in basis of this P2? 3. So that's why dimension of P2 is 3. And what is the dimension of R3? Dimension of R3 is also 3. So that's why P2 is isomorphic to P3. That means we can have one correspondence between P2 to R3. This is essentially, so this is essentially a linear transformation from R2 to R2. So we can also further we can claim that the linear transformation defined from P2 to P2 definitely due to P2 is isomorphic to R3, we can say that this T transformation T, it also define a linear transformation from R3 to R3, and definitely it will have a 3 by 3 matrix. That means matrix of this T would be 3 by 3. So we need to find that matrix. What is that matrix? So now we will apply coordinate transform. In order to map P2 to R3 and the corresponding target space P2 to R3 as well. Here, suppose here this one domain space is also P2 and target space is also P2. So that's why we have to map domain space to R3 and target space to R3 as well. So how we can do? So we have to take a basis always we need to take a basis. The basis we had taken here 1x square. So this is the standard basis of P2. And if you take any general polynomial from P2, so and P2 is collection of all polynomial of degree up to 2. So any general element of P2 can be written as A plus BX plus CX square. Any general element from P2. And what would be image of this polynomial? So the image of this polynomial is saying that take first derivative and second derivative and sum it up. So if you simplify, that means if you take first derivative of this polynomial and second derivative of this polynomial and summing it up, then resultant would be what? B plus 2c plus 2cx, because that means it is a linear polynomial. Image of t t is a linear polynomial under this transformation. Okay, so we will find the basis. Uh, we will find the coordinate of first. We will find the coordinate of the element from domain. So these are the element from the domain. So with respect to this basis, what is the coordinate? Coordinate of this polynomial, it would be A, B, C. Why? A is the coefficient of 1, B is the coefficient of x, and C is the coefficient of x square. So that's why collecting coefficient and putting in order, we are getting this is the coordinate of f, the polynomial given polynomial f with respect to basis beta. If you take another basis, your coordinate will be different. Now come to in target set. So in target set, what kind of polynomial you are having? You are having a linear polynomial. So again, we will find coordinate of this one with respect to this basis. So what is the this constant part? So it is a what? It is a coefficient of 1. Coefficient of 1 will come first. So coefficient of 1 is b plus 2c. And what is the coefficient of x? Coefficient of x is 2c. So 2c is coming here. And what is the coefficient of x square? We don't observe any x square term here. So by default, we assume that coefficient of x square is 0. So that's why 0 is coming here. So coordinate of image is what? B plus 2c, 0. This is the coordinate of image. Now we will try to find what would be matrix. So in order to find matrix, we know that this one is element from P2, and transformation is defined from P2 to P2. Here you can observe like this way. But if you come in lower part, what you observe? This one is element of R3. Coordinate of f is element of R3, and coordinate of image of f is also an element of R3. So you here in lower part you observe here transformation from R3 to R3. So same thing I had already discussed it here. So here you have to find the matrix. What would be associated matrix? So that if you apply a matrix over this, you will get this kind of vector. So that matrix we need to find. So we will do it by just by inspection, and then we will go for general approach. So what is the inspection? So what is image? Coordinate of image is b plus 2c 0. So we do little bit manipulation in order to write matrix. So it would be what you can write this one. So consider this. What does it talk about? It is right in the form of like when you are writing a system of equation in terms of matrix form, the similar thing is coming here. So you are having just left hand side portion only. So here b plus 2c, that means you are multiplying row 0 1 2 with abc, then you are getting b plus 2c. When you are multiplying row 0 0 2 with abc, then you are getting 2c. Third component would be, and in last component, how you will get? When you are multiplying 0 row with c, then you are getting 0. So you have written the coordinate of image as a matrix, this matrix time this coordinate of pre-image. That means you are saying that the coordinate of image is written as this matrix times coordinate of fx, polynomial fx. So that is the relation. So this is your desired matrix. Through inspection you got. So this here it would be beta matrix. So your beta matrix of the beta transform, beta matrix of the linear transformation T, which describe the transformation T if, so this is the matrix. and it says that if input and output are in beta coordinate, it is talking about this matrix is dealing with when your input here, you can observe that this is the input. Input is what? It is beta coordinate of the pre-image fx. That means element from the domain. And this one is what? It is talking about beta coordinate of the image, corresponding image. So that is the scenario. In total picture, we can say like this way. So if you are talking about in term of beta coordinate, so if you are having a polynomial P2, polynomial space P2, and then what we do, take a basis beta having increase 1 x, having element 1 x, x square. So with respect to this basis, you will get coordinate. Every polynomial will have a coordinate. Every polynomial from P2 will have a coordinate, and that coordinate would be a three-dimensional coordinate. So that's why under this beta coordinate transformation, you are mapping P2 to P3. And here similarly, this P2 is your image space. So again, image space of this transformation T. Again, you apply coordinate transformation with respect to basis beta, and you map P2 to R3. So what happens if you want to see same kind of information what T is giving? So T is giving, then we need to find a matrix. This is the matrix B of T matrix. So B is applied over the coordinate vector. Coordinate vector. It is applied over the coordinate vector. So this one is the vector that means major macroscopic view. And if you are going for microscopic view, is this one is the microscopic. What does it at our atomic view? That means take any element from the P2 and find the corresponding coordinate. Corresponding coordinate will be what? It would be coordinate of F. And similarly, what you do, apply the linear transformation over F and get the image. Then with respect to basis beta, find the coordinate of the image, and coordinate from image would be this one. Okay, so how you got it? This T of F, you got it by applying linear transformation T over F. That means T of F, it is what? What is the linear transformation? That means you differentiate F once and twice, then adding those two derivatives. That is your linear transformation. If you want to observe same kind of pattern, what you do? Then you need to find the matrix of the transformation. That one is B, and you apply B with the coordinate of F, and whatever result you will get, that would be the coordinate of your image of the polynomial. So that is the scenario overall. Now, I will go for systematic approach. What does it mean? So we are taking a very general kind of linear space or vector space of dimension n. So consider a linear transformation from a vector space V to V, where V is what? It is n-dimensional vector space with a given basis beta, and we are considering a linear transformation. This it is composition of three operations. That means composition of composition of LB. That means it is talking about coordinate transformation from V to R. This one is linear transformation from V to V. This one is the inverse coordinate transformation from where? From Rn to V. So it is definitely it is a mapping from Rn to R. So if you see this composed linear transformation, so every part is a linear transformation. It is this composed linear transformation is where it is defined from Rn to Rn. It is very simple also from high school you can come to know, from calculus you come to know, or from the class of mapping you come to know. What you do if you want to verify, what you do, take any x from Rn. So x is a what? N-dimensional vector. You apply, that means it is talking about coordinate of polynomial. If you talk with respect to previous space, then it would be a coordinate. It will denote coordinate of polynomial, and then you apply this transformation. Talk with respect to previous example. So it would be derivative in term of derivative. So you are differentiating, then you are getting a another polynomial derivative of a polynomial is again a polynomial, then you are further finding coordinate of that polynomial. That means again the total, if you apply 3 in together, then what you are getting? You are getting again a vector. So that's a n-dimensional vector. That's way this composed map, it is a mapping from Rn to Rn. And this matrix beta, so it is a mapping from Rn to Rn. So in Rn, we had already seen that always every linear transformation is associated with some matrix. So definitely we can find with respect to this linear transformation, always we can find a matrix B, and this matrix B, we call it beta matrix of the transformation. And how we can get it? So letting take any general element from the vector space V and find B. So consider that uh, that as a pre-image of any n-dimensional vector x. So why? What is meaning of pre-image? It says that definitely this V will have coordinate with respect to basis element, and that coordinate vector would be a uh, n-dimensional vector. So that's why this concept is coming. And further, so it is written like this way: coordinate of f, it happens to be x. So we find that this coordinate of image of f under the transformation P, it can be written as matrix times, so B times coordinate of f. So what is B? That we have to find it. So that is that matrix, we will call it matrix of a linear, given linear transformation P. So this is the diagrammatic view, and systematically I will give how to find B instantly. So easily you can find B like this way, and this one is atomic view of same thing, this one. Okay, so here with respect to basis, take basis having a element, basis element f1, f2, up to fn, and then what would be your beta matrix B? It can be written as the column. So like this way. So what you do? Take any element, basis element. First, what you do? Find the coordinate of image of the basis element. So fi. If I'm calling it fi is linear combination. How can you write fi as a linear combination of other element? Can we write as a linear combination of other basis element? No. Why? Because fi, it is coming from basis element. It would be linearly independent with respect to other element. So fi would be simply written as 1 time fi, and what would be other coefficient would be 0, coefficient of other things. That means I would like to say simply, if you take a f1, what is meaning of f1? F1 is say that 1 time what is the linear combination, how we will write f1 in term of basis. So and what would be coordinate of f1? So easily we can see it here like this way. So f1 we can write it like 1 time f1 plus 0 time f2. Why 0 time? Because f1 is linearly independent with respect to other basis element as well. So that's why we are writing 0 time f2 plus, it will go up to where? Up to fn. So 0 time fn. So you are giving a linear combination representation of f1 with respect to basis element. F1 is anyhow, F1 is happens to be a basis element. Then again, F1 definitely it would be a element from the vector space. That's why we need to get a linear combination of F1 with respect to basis element. So that's why we had written here. Now I will ask, what is the coordinate of F1 with respect to this basis? So coordinate of F1 with respect to this basis beta, what it would be? So here first coordinate would be 1, and other rest coordinate would be 0. That means 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, it will go 0. So what kind of vector it is coming? We are getting a standard unit vector. This one is E1. Similarly, if I am asking what is the uh, coordinate of F2, coordinate vector of f2. So f2, how you will write? F2 is again coming from the basis element. So f2, you can write it 0 time f1 plus 1 time f2 plus 0 time f3 plus you will go likewise up to Fn 0 time Fn 0 time Fn. So this is the pattern to write things in the term of Fn. Okay. So what would be coordinate vector of F2? So F2 would be first coordinate would be 0 with respect to basis beta. Second coordinate would be 1. Third coordinate 0. Likewise, nth coordinate would be dotted line. So nth coordinate would be 0. So all these are 0, 0, 0 coming. 0. 0 is coming. So again, what is name of this vector in term of standard unit vector? We are calling this vector E2. So the coordinate of image of the basis element, what would be? It would be simply B time EI. What does it talk about? If you multiply a matrix, given matrix with ith standard unit vector, then what is the resultant? It will give the, if you multiply. So suppose you are taking a matrix like this way, having column like 1, 2, 3, 1, and you multiply it with E1. You are, suppose you are in R2. In R2, what is the first standard unit vector? It would be 1, 0. So if you multiply with 1, 0, what is the resultant? Resultant would be 1, 2. Simply 1, 2. That means it says that if you multiply matrix B with, you are getting C1. If you similarly multiply E2, that means 0, 1, then what would be your column? So if you multiply this with E2, this matrix B with E2, what would be your resultant? Resultant would be C2. That means second column, 3, 1. You can verify that. So that is the pattern, that whenever you multiply a matrix with a standard unit vector, always you will get the corresponding column. So that means B times EI, it would be ith column of B. So easily you can, with the help of basis element, you can get column of B. That means you can say that the matrix B can be written in term of column of column, where column is coming from ith coordinate of ith basis element. So that is the pattern to find generalized approach to find matrix of a given linear transformation. So again, same thing I had generalized. I have written here further again. I have given a pictorial view of this one. So what is your basis matrix of beta matrix of given linear transformation? So it is having first column. It is what? It is coordinate of image of F1, and nth column would be coordinate of image of Fn. So that is the criteria. So one example here I am taking. So what you have to do, so you are having a transformation. Previous example I am trying to find in a systematic way. So there is a linear transformation of from P2 to P2. It is defined as T of F equal to F dash plus F double dash. So this one is your given linear transformation. And verification you can do it. It is a linear transformation. Pretty much guaranteed that this one is a linear transformation. And we are having a basis. This is the basis of P2, 1x and x square. Now, with respect to this basis, we will find linear transformation of this linear transformation. So what we will do? So in order to go for layman approach for every general element, we won't do that approach. So what we will do? Just we will find coordinate of the basis element, coordinate of image of basis element. So what is the image of one? Image of one, that means one is a monomial. What is the image of one? That means derivative of one plus second derivative of one. So first derivative 1, it is a constant, so it would be 0. Second derivative would be also 0. So image of 1 is 0. And now, what is the coordinate of 0 with respect to this basis? Coordinate of 0 means 0 times 1 plus 0 times x plus 0 times x square. So coordinate of image of t of 1, it would be what? 0, 0, 0. Now similarly find the image of x. What is image of x? It says that first derivative x plus second derivative of x. First derivative of x, it would be 1. The second derivative of x, it would be 0. Derivative, that means derivative of 1. Derivative of 1 is what? 0. So that's why it is image of x is what? 1. And so what is the coordinate of 1 with respect to this basis? That means it is talking about 1 times 1 plus 0 times x plus 0 times x square. So that's why coordinate of uh, t of x, it would be 1, 0, 0. So you are getting this coordinate. Similarly, find the image of x square. That means first derivative of x square plus the second derivative of x square. So first derivative of x square is what? It is simply what? It would be 2x. First derivative of x square would be 2x, and second derivative of x square would be 2 constant. Okay, so we are writing in a systematic form in order to get a ordered basis coordinate. So what is the image of, so what is coordinate of this image of x square? The 2 times 1, that means 2, and 2 times x, that means 2, and 0 times x square, so 0 you are getting. So this is the coordinate vector of image of x square. So put this coordinate of image of 1 as a first column, coordinate of image of x as a second column, and coordinate of image of x square as a third column. Then you are getting this matrix. This one is the desired matrix. This matrix we are calling it beta matrix of the linear transformation T from P2 to P2. So this is that means beta matrix. Why I am calling it? So matrix is always associated with some basis. With respect to which basis you are finding matrix. That's why I am calling this one is the beta matrix of this given linear transformation with respect to this basis. This is the idea to find a matrix with respect to a given a given basis of a linear transformation. So I'm taking one more example. So here this V, it is a subspace of a space of all continuous continuously a smooth function, or simply infinitely a smooth function. C infinity, it says that it is a collection of all the function having nature, either it would be exponential or either it will be sine or cosine kind of function. That means C infinity, that means that it is differentiable infinitely many times. So if you take sin x is always differentiable. It differentiable in many times, and cosine x is also differentiable many times. But we are not taking complete C infinity. We are taking just a subspace whose basis is cosine and sine. That means what is it talking about? It is talking about V is a Fourier. It is talking about Fourier space kind of. V is a Fourier space. And we know that every function in Fourier space we represent, periodic function in Fourier space we represent as a linear combination of sine and cosine. So that's why V is a Fourier space. And definitely it would be a linear transformation. There is no issue to verify that whether it is a linear transformation or not. So now we define a linear transformation over V by this function. So that means T of x equal to 3f plus 2 times f dash minus f double dash. So you can verify that it is a linear transformation. Why? Because function is always a linear transformation, and derivative is again a linear transformation. And zeroth derivative, this one is zeroth derivative, this one is first derivative, and this one is the second derivative. So all happens to be a linear transformation. That's why composition of linear transformation again, and the sum of linear transformation again happens to be a linear transformation. Now we will find beta matrix of this transformation. That means we will find matrix of this given transformation with respect to this basis. So what we have to do? So we don't have to go for general element from V. What we do? We will just find image of basis element. So what is the image of cos x? First basis is cos x. So image of cos x, apply this formula. So that you will come across the image of cos x is 4 times cos x minus 2 times sin x. So this is the image of cos x. So with respect to basis element, this basis element, what is the coordinate of this image of cos x? So here you can say that here it is 4 times cos x minus 2 times sin x. So that's why coefficient of cos x is 4, and coefficient of sin x is -2. So coordinate of t of cos x is what? With respect to this basis is 4 -2. Similarly, coordinate of image of sin x, it would come as 2, 4. Now consider this one as a first column of the matrix, and this is the second column, and you will get a matrix. This matrix we call it matrix of the beta matrix of this linear transformation. Beta matrix of this linear transformation. So it is the way to find general approach to find the matrix of a given linear transformation with respect to the basis. Remember that without given basis, you can't find matrix of a given linear transformation. When basis is not mentioned there, by default we consider a standard basis as the given basis. If basis is not mentioned there, if basis is mentioned there, we will find matrix with respect to that basis only. So another example I have taken it here. So we have to find the matrix of the linear transformation, which is defined as T of m equal to this matrix 0, 0, 1, 0 times m minus m times 0, 1, 0, 0. And here, what is vector space? Vector space V equal to, it is collection of all 2 by 2 matrix. So V is here R 2 by 2. So we are having a linear transformation from V to V, and we are finding, so it is a linear transformation from R2 by 2 to R2 by 2. So we will find the basis of this one. So what we do, in order to find the basis of, call it V simply. In order to find, we know that I had already mentioned that R2 by 2 also you can, what is the dimension of R2 by 2? Dimension of R2 by 2 is 4, because it basis element, any basis element of R2 by 2 contain 4 elements. So one standard basis of R2 by 2 was what? 1, 0, 0, 0. First basis element, second basis element would be 0, 1, 0, 0. Third basis element would be 0, 0, 1, 0. Fourth basis element would be for R2 by 2, 0, 0, 0, 1. So this one is the basis of this vector space to R2 by 2. So it is a basis 1, and this basis is a standard basis. So we will find the matrix with respect to this basis. So just you can, what you do, you write this one in term of coordinate. So it is coming as a coordinate. Again, find the image of any general 2 by 2 matrix. Image would be this, again 2 by 2 matrix C D minus A 0 minus C. And what is the coordinate of this one? Coordinate would be like this way. And from here you can easily generalize that directly you can find what is your this you can write as a matrix multiplication like this way. Just it is again by inspection. So how can you write in term of matrix? So this one is talking about C. C means you multiply 0, 0, 1. C will come at third place. So 0, 0. If you multiply 0, 0, 1, 0 with A, B, C, D, then you will get just C. A, B, C, D. Now, when you will get D minus 1, when you multiply row minus 1, 0, 0, 1 with ABCD, then you will get D minus A. When you will get 0, this third coordinate 0, when you multiply 0 row, 0th row with ABCD, then everything would be 0. When you will get minus C, when you multiply row 0, 0, minus 1, 0 with ABCD, then you will get this one. So that's where this is the matrix of the transformation. Directly you got it. So a space of matrix is also behaving like an square kind of Euclidean space. So that's where it's very simple to find matrix of a linear transformation defined over any space of matrices. I will talk about coordinate with respect to different bases, then I will wind up this class. And in next class, I will talk about change of bases. So I had already discussed that we say that a set of vector beta containing v1 up to vn, it will form a basis of v if this vector span v and also are linearly independent. That means a basis beta, it happens to be minimal spanning set and maximal independent set of vector of v. So that means every element in v vector space v can be written uniquely as a linear combination of all these vi, and the unique linear combination define coordinate. This coefficient alpha 1 to alpha n defines coordinate of v with respect to the given basis, and we say that this is the coordinate of v with respect to given basis. So this one was the overall concept of basis and coordinate. So I am giving here one task that how to find determine the call it coordinate of component coordinate, both are same name, coordinate of vector v having one vector 1 3 1 7 with respect to first basis having entry element 1 2 3 1, and second basis having uh, element 3 1 1 2. You can observe that b and c looks set wise it looks same but order wise different. So that's why I have given two different names. So these two b and c, these are easily you can say that vector in these are linearly independent, so they definitely form a basis of R2. So how can you find represent a given vector with respect to these two bases? So representation is coming like this way. Same question I have written it here. So first we will find represent 1 7 with respect to first basis beta. So here that means we are writing any general element, that means this element v as a linear combination of uh, element from beta, that means alpha 1 times 1 2 plus alpha 2 times 3 1. And just in order to get alpha 1 and alpha 2, you have to solve this system of equation and just apply augment it. This one last column is augmented column. So apply reduce zero equivalent form or Gaussian elimination method. From that you will get value of alpha 1 equal to 4 and alpha 2 equal to minus 1. It says that coordinate of the given factor 1 7 is with respect to this first basis beta is what? 4 minus 1. So geometry you can observe like this way. This vector, this is your v1 1 2 first basis element. This one is second basis element, and here 1 7 is given. So if 1 7, so it is given. So if you are willing to write with respect to this basis, so representation is coming like this. Okay. The coordinate, that means 4 unit along v1 and minus 1 unit along v2. Minus 1 unit, that means negative direction, minus 1 unit. So this is the, if you are taking v, so v you are writing 4 times v1 minus v2. So this is the representation with respect to basis, call it v1 and v1 v2. Similarly we will find uh, coordinate of this vector 1 7 with respect to second basis uh, c, second basic c. What would be that? It would be just so again we are writing v as a linear combination of uh, alpha 1 times 3 1 plus alpha 2 times 1 2. So again you have to solve this system of linear equation. Last column is augmented column, and you will come across that alpha 1 is it is having value minus 1 and alpha 2 is having value 4. It implies that coordinate of v with respect to c is changed. Now it is minus 1 and 4. So you can easily observe that if you change the order of element in the basis, your coordinate will change. So, so speak while finding coordinate of a vector with respect to any basis. Order is very essential. So if you change the order even, then the coordinate will change. So other things we will discuss in next class. I think we have already covered 45 minutes. So we will discuss in next class. I think we have already covered 45 minutes. So if you are having any question, you can ask. Otherwise, created a link. You go and mark there. Okay. I hope that there is no question from your side. Thank you. Thank you for attending.